So a lot of taller athletes either don't like doing deadlifts or are very bad at doing deadlifts. It doesn't mean that they should eliminate them from their training program. In fact, it's probably even more important that the taller athletes, especially if they have weak upper and lower backs, use deadlifts. But the way the deadlift is done has to be adjusted and altered in order for the taller athlete to use this. So if you're a strength and conditioning coach and you're frustrated, or you're a sports coach and you're frustrated with the lack of ability for your taller athletes to perform the deadlift, I'm going to give you a few tips right now that are going to help you out, because I deal with the same thing here at my gym. Now, one of the things with the taller athlete is they have really long legs, so their knees jut out really, really far. And if they have a weak upper back, it's going to be very difficult for them, especially on the way down, to get the bar over their knees without rounding out and trying to lurch forward. It almost becomes virtually impossible for them to lower the bar without it having set on their knees. So what you got to have them do is take a wider than normal stance. All tall athletes got to do this. And I'm talking about the weaker the upper back, the weaker the thoracic extensors, the weaker the glutes, the wider the stance is going to have to be. So a lot of times I'll have my taller athletes take like toes pointed out, really wide base. Then from this position, they can very easily sit down into this position, keeping the knees wide, keeping the chest up, stand up. So this is a position that I would like them to start from. Now, with a weaker athlete, he's still going to have a tendency to want to round out, even with the wider base. You're going to tell him to go down, and he's just going to slump forward. But the essence of the deadlift exercise is found in the thoracic extension. A lot of people don't know that. They think the deadlift is like you just pick it up off the floor. A proper deadlift is performed with thoracic extension. That means your back, your shoulders stay back the whole time, your shoulders are drawn back, your butt is sticking out, and you're activating all those muscles in your back. That's why deadlifts are such a great posture improving exercise and a great back building exercise. Every athlete needs to do it, it's the bottom line. So when they get to this position and they're lowering, they start rounding, use some of the cues that I've taught you before, like put your fingers on their shoulder blades and tell them to draw your fingers together. That forces their chest up, just have them keep their chest up, stick your butt out. And then from that position at the top, the other thing is, I also like to have my athletes with weaker upper backs and don't extend well enough, grab the bar with their palms up. You might see that in some of my videos. So they'll grab it, they'll start here, pin the shoulders back, bend the knees slightly. Then from this position, have them tip forward at the hips. Tip, 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 till they get to right about where the knees are, and then start sinking the hips. From there, they can just stand right back up. Pause at the top, check the form, butt out, chest up, tip, 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 keeping the back flat to about the knees, and then when they get to the knees, or right past the knees, they can sink their butt. So, just to reiterate, taller athletes, to get the knees out of the way, wide base, toes out. Arms on the inside, palms up, big chest. They've got to keep their torso erect by drawing the scapula together. You can help them by bringing your fingers together on their back. Stick the butt out, and then from that position, this position here, teach them to imagine that there's a hinge, just a hinge right on their hip, and they're tipping over, tipping over, tipping over, tip over just enough where they can clear their knees, and at that point, start sinking the butt. You're going to have some athletes that they still can't do it, especially once the bar starts getting a little bit lower. They're just going to break. Put blocks underneath the bar. Some people do rack pulls. I feel that it just gives it a little bit less of a natural feel. What we'll do is we'll take cinder blocks or like step aerobic boxes. Other gyms I used to do this, and you place them underneath the plates so that they don't have to go down as low. So that's it. All athletes got a deadlift. Bottom line, I don't care what sport you play, thoracic extension, upper back strength, posture is super important for performance. Just learn how to do it, modify it, descend it, do whatever you have to do in order to allow for the movement to take place so that you can strengthen and become a better athlete. Good. It's like bending knees, butt out, big chest as you tip, and up from there. Good. Remember to tuck your chin.